Welcome to the Big Play Cleveland Show. I'm Gabriella Cruz alongside Chris McNeil, Nick Padone, and honestly, we're all smiles in the studio today. What a fun weekend and Thursday night football from our Brownies. A snowy, like a snow globe win against the Steelers at home. Couldn't ask for anything better. The Cavs improved to 17-1. And how about OSU shutting down the Hoosiers, the losers? Who's your daddy?
All kinds of good vibes right now. We've got the holiday this week. You've got the Cavs on a roll. That Browns game, boy, what a lot of fun. You talked about it with the snow, just the elements. You know, we're going to get into it a little bit later with the debate over whether have a dome, whether not. But for now, it's just nice to enjoy a win out there in the elements. And boy, Jameis just brought us the fire that we needed out there on Thursday on a national stage when everybody, including myself, was expecting us to fall down. The Browns showed up, Nick.
Yeah, and we'll be joined by Browns quarterback Jameis Winston on the show, doing a little Thanksgiving show with him. So a lot of fun and something to keep us tuned in for. But Chris, it was awesome. And, you know, beating the Steelers is always really fun. I wasn't anticipating it either. I really think the snow got to the Steelers, and really the Browns finally were able to put some things together offensively. It was a good showing from the defense as well. I know we'll break it all down, but it was really a good showing from the Browns. I was glad to see them bounce back like that, especially it was right after the reports that we heard Kevin Stefanski was safe for 2025. They're going to roll it back with this regime. The team goes out there and puts together a good showing. It was good. It was much needed.
Is Jameis Winston the most likable guy in the NFL? Come on. I know. Put your bias aside.
He's right up there with another guy by the name of Baker Mayfield, who happens to be really killing it down there in Tampa Bay. And I know it's kind of bad karma to bring up Baker Mayfield in the same sentence as the Cleveland Browns these days, but he's got that same charisma as a guy like Baker, and it's great to see him be able to lead this team. You know, it's still a 3-win team, but we're out there having fun, right? The week before, it doesn't look like the players were given the effort. This week, everybody showed up for national TV. Hopefully we see it again on Monday night, Nick. Keep this momentum going for the Cleveland Browns, because this may be a team that's going nowhere, but at least be interesting. And right now, Jameis Winston is making us interesting on a national stage.
And we knew it was a lost season when they were screwing around with Deshaun Watson as long as they did. So when at that point, when Deshaun Watson went down and it seemed like it was the players versus the fans, it was like, let's at least take the fun moments when they give themselves to us. And we had a fun moment beating the Baltimore Ravens. Now we've had a fun moment beating the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Jameis is a big reason behind all of this. It is such a breath of fresh air versus what we've been plagued with in Deshaun Watson these last couple of years, where it was no fun on the field or off of it. Jameis Winston really has gone out and endeared himself to this fan base, which has been awesome.
It was pretty wild, too, pregame when you saw the interview with Jameis as he's coming out in wonderment of just the snow. And you got to think a guy from the South who played down there at Florida State and who spent most of his career down there is now getting a chance to play a legitimate outside snow ball game. And, boy, he really enjoyed it. You could see that was legitimate in his eyes. He lit up like a kid on Christmas.
He had a twinkle in his eye, like a little Santa Claus twinkle. I feel like this is a little Christmas movie in the making. It could be just that of the Southern guy who comes up and he gets his first glimpse of snow and a big win over the rival team.
Well, a Christmas Story, Jameis edition.
Yep.
We'll talk to Jameis about all of that and more. We've got some Cleveland headlines for you. Don't go anywhere. More of the Big Play Cleveland Show right after this.
Welcome back to the Big Play Cleveland Show. It is time for our Garage Beer featured interview. In studio, we've got quarterback one, Jameis Winston. Big win over the Steelers. We saw that twinkle in your eye. We saw the personality, of course, as always. And, of course, those snow angels. We want to hear from your point of view. What was it like playing in the elements at home over the Steelers?
Man, it was beautiful, Gabs. Like, when you are walking onto that field – and you see little specks of snow just come. You just, it's going to be my first snow game. I'm going to have an amazing experience. But the second half came around, and it was just thick snow falling. Like, you hearing the crunch of the snow up under your cleats. Like, it really was just a beautiful experience. And plus, for a Cleveland Browns fan, being like me knowing nothing about like the significance of the Browns versus Steelers rivalry, to go out there and get that win, that luxurious win for our fans in that way, it was just a blessing.
All right, so that Thursday night football win, Jameis, was the last Thursday win before Thanksgiving, Turkey Day. What's your Thanksgiving usually look like?
My Thanksgiving looks usually like, it depends on if we have practice or not. We typically have practice, and then some instances we get to celebrate Thanksgiving after on odd occasions where we get to have Thanksgiving and like we are by or like we have the whole day. But typically I wake up and I pray just for my family in my quiet time and just like an enhanced prayer of what I'm thankful for just because hence Thanksgiving. And then I go on to practice and I come back and when I come home, I tell my wife, I want to smell how good your food is. Like, I know when I taste it, I'll be able to feel. But when I walk through those doors, I want to smell how good this food is. So I come in, I get a good sniff, and I smell how good the food is, and I eat.
And we have this debate on the show, Jameis. Where does Thanksgiving rank amongst your holidays for you?
Well, Thanksgiving is probably the third holiday for me. One being my birthday. I love my birthday.
Very good.
Yeah, I think that's two being just Christmas and just everything that comes with Christmas and giving and the real reason for Christmas. And Thanksgiving's third. Just again, just the level of gratitude. I mean, I know to start off with saying, "Hey, me for my birthday," and then going to these grateful. Like, I was grateful I was born that day. But anyways, but Thanksgiving is just such a significant holiday for me because it's a chance that you get to break bread with people that you love, give thanks. You know, even though I'm thankful every single day, but just give thanks and just cherish your family and friends.
I feel like you so encapsulate joy and gratitude. How does that translate into your play on the field?
Well, my life mastery coach, Vinny Vaughn, tells me all the time, hey, gratitude is the key to abundance. And when we function out of gratefulness and thankfulness and knowing that, like, hey, what I want for myself, I want for everyone. Hey, I want everyone to succeed. I want everyone to be kind and respectful. It's a lifestyle, and it's like a spirit. Like, you function in the spirit where nothing can go wrong.
What's your favorite Thanksgiving foods?
My favorite Thanksgiving foods, I love me some collard greens with smoked turkey or some type of poke inside of pork to people not from the South. I just got into like the fried turkey. I wasn't really a big turkey person for Thanksgiving. I was more of a ham guy for Thanksgiving. I think it's just a Southern thing. And then I love like candy yams. It could be sweet potato casserole. Like, I love that. And my wife, she's a Creole girl, so she makes this seafood dressing like that she got from her grandmother that was passed along the long lineage of those great chefs down in New Orleans. And that has been, those three things are must. Like, I got to have some good collard greens. I got to have some great candy yams. And I have to have some dressing that's going to knock me off my feet.
All right, say you had to make a dish for a Thanksgiving potluck. What's the one item that Jameis Winston feels most confident preparing for a Thanksgiving dinner?
Preparing, it'll probably be the greens.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You can't really mess up the greens. I done went through some whole processes of watching my grandma cut them greens, wash the greens, rinse them, add the like already boiled the meat in there, add your seasoning, and then just throwing your greens in there, and just letting it sit, let it simmer.
Hanford Dixon, Alabama guy, also big into the collard greens. He actually was boasting about how good he makes his own, so I feel like we gotta put him on the spot. Maybe have him come in. Yeah. We could do a little taste test. Are you a sweet potato pie guy? Hanford was also talking about this.
I love me some sweet potato pie now.
Okay.
I love it. Some people call it pumpkin pie, but I love me some sweet potato pie.
Any side dishes you don't like? Anything you avoid on Thanksgiving Day?
It's not much that I really avoid.
Okay.
On Thanksgiving Day. I'm just like, I have this thing where, like, please don't bring mashed potatoes to
mashed potatoes.
Like,
that feels like a staple.
I really don't believe it's a staple. Like, it's mashed potatoes.
What about cheesy potatoes? Yay or nay?
Like, like the scallop potatoes, like cheesy potatoes. I get that, but just regular mashed potatoes with
gravy.
I know, but gravy is like for the dressing or the stuffing.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't need gravy for mashed potatoes. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a Thanksgiving
butter,
meal.
you mix it all up.
Like,
no.
I would rather just have a baked potato.
Call it a day.
Not feeling it at all.
Jameis, we can't let you get out of here without asking what you're thankful for this Thanksgiving season. It's been crazy ever since we've started this segment with you in studio. We've popped around a couple of restaurants. What you thankful for this Thanksgiving?
Man, you know, every morning I wake up and I write down 3 things that I'm grateful for, and health and clean water are simple things that comes up over and over again, because those are things that we don't think about, you know. And growing up, man, like I know what it is to be in a household where, like, man, we taking baths and like we having to, you know, boil water on the stove so we can have hot water, you know, for all of us to get our bath in. And I really just take pride in like those essential things that we may feel like that's essential, like our health. Like when you have health, meaning like you're breathing, you're above ground for this day. I'm really grateful for that, you know. And I know water is something that's essential for us, you know, just because, like, I mean, over half the earth is filled with water, you know, over half our body is filled with water, and man, we have clean drinking water here in the States. So I'm extremely grateful for that, man. But if I would just say holistically, what am I thankful for, man? I'm thankful that the Lord has blessed me to be able to share memories and experiences with other people in their human experience on a daily basis. Because I truly know I'm a people person. I feed
No doubt about that.
I feed off people, but man, we are all so unique, and I think the more that we can embrace our unique qualities and not judge, but to just approach it with love, the better off we are as people.
All right, I want to play a quick game with you. It's called Thankful or Not. Yeah. I've got a list of things, and you have to tell me if you're thankful for them or not.
Yeah.
You want to do it?
Yeah.
All right, list starts out pretty easy. Nick Chubb.
I'm very, very thankful.
Florida State University.
I'm thankful for Florida State, yes.
Browns fans.
Oh, grateful. Beyond grateful for the Browns fans.
Here's where things get crazy. Mosquitoes.
You know, they have a role in life.
He's too grateful for this game.
I am thankful for mosquitoes. You
All
know
right,
what I'm saying?
we'll go with puppies.
Oh my God, so grateful for puppies. Like my Tootsie is waiting for me right now at home. Yes.
Spiders.
Well, you know, I'm grateful for spiders too. You know, like when you have a lot of insects in your house, you know, the spiders, they gonna clean it up for you.
A home-cooked meal.
Oh, man, so grateful for a home-cooked meal, man. I mean, I would not be married if it weren't for home-cooked meals.
Last one, airplane rides without Wi-Fi.
That's awful. That's awful. That's awful, but you know what? I'm thankful for that, because when you're in the plane, like that 1 to 2 hours of silence that you have of just doing away from your phone, your laptop, it's required. It really is. So I'm thankful for it.
Ultimate glass half full over here.
Oh, we
It
love
really
it.
is.
Jameis,
appreciate you popping in here with us.
thank you for coming on. Jameis Winston, we appreciate your heart and just the spark that you are for the Cleveland Browns, but also the city of Cleveland. It's really nice that you're sharing your charisma and all of your just down-to-earth qualities with us. So thanks for coming in.
No, thank you. I'm beyond grateful to be on set on Big Play again. Yeah, making big plays. That's how you get on Big Play. But no, like this city has really grown on me. Like it's exceeded my expectations from when I first came here. Obviously, the football team, like I'm required to love my teammates because I love that. But just the people here are infectious. You know, I'm so happy when they're happy and we're winning. So I think everyone is happy when that happens. So fans, man, keep on supporting us, man. Keep on holding us to that high standard, and happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
It is Christmas time, and I couldn't think of any better gift than a new recliner, a new sofa. Take care of the loved ones in your life and hook them up with some new furniture with our friends over at Northeast Factory Direct. 'Tis the season, right? I mean, you're in your house, you're bunkered down. We know it's going to be like this until around March Madness. Head on out to Northeast Factory Direct because they have the best quality products at an unbelievable price, and they have your whole house covered. Kitchen cabinets, bedroom sets, dining room tables, hot tubs, sofas, and much, much more. How's a hot tub sound this time of year in the fall? You can shop online anytime by going to northeastfactorydirect.com or in store, Cleveland, Euclid, Macedonia, North Canton. When you shop in store, make sure to ask about that big play bonus. They're going to give you guys an extra hookup because you're fans of the show, because you heard about it on Big Play. You got to ask about the big play bonus. Thank you guys.
Speaking of hot tubs and the snow, like Jameis's Snow Angel, I don't know if you've ever tried it, but you got to go from you got to wait for the snow season. But hot tub to the Snow Angel, back to the hot tub to the Snow Angel is a killer combo. Have you done it, McNeil?
I have not done that before.
What?
I've done the hot tub at ski weekend. We'll go and we'll do the hot tub thing, but I've never gone into the snow then right after the hot tub.
I figured your kids might have conned you into this at one point.
No.
Chris, that might put your body into like a nervous shock. Don't try that.
Don't worry, he can handle it. He's a tough guy. Are we doing fill in the blank, fellas, or?
Let's do some Cleveland headlines here. The Browns beat the Steelers 24-19 at the Thursday night football snowstorm. Obviously, Jameis Winston, 18 of 27, 219 yards in that win. But it was Myles Garrett that really captured the heart of the nation, calling out TJ Watt in that WWE-style press conference, saying, I'm number one, that's Edge 1 and Defensive Player of the Year. I'm that guy that runs through me. Chris, what were your thoughts when you heard Myles say that?
Clearly a statement game from the Defensive Player of the Year, the reigning Defensive Player of the Year in Myles Garrett. TJ Watt, did he even get off the bus? I mean, literally didn't show up there at all. You didn't really see a big impact from TJ Watt. On the other side, 3 sacks in the first half for Myles Garrett, clearly making a statement to our rivals, to TJ Watt, to that organization, to the nation on national TV. So kudos to Myles Garrett. That was a huge game for him.
And you could tell that one meant something to Myles.
I was just going to say big game for Nick Chubb, too. How exciting to see him looking like full form for him. 20 carries, 59 yards, 2 touchdowns. It's so great to see Nick Chubb back in action looking like himself.
He said in the past when there's been bad weather games, I remember even back to the Baker Mayfield days where there was snow and sleet and grumple or whatever they want to call it by the stadium. Nick Chubb's like go-to line that he said on multiple occasions is it's good running weather. And boy, was it good running weather on Thursday Night Football. It felt like the Browns defensively were able to shut down Najee Harris, Jaylen Warren throughout most of that game. Warren did score a touchdown there at the end. But yeah, it was great to see Nick Chubb get back to form.
I love him even more. That reminds me of so in cross country, we would run in the elements, and I always looked forward to bad weather because I felt like some of the competition didn't like it. So now I feel even more like I understand the competitive edge on Chubb for saying that. Wow. Lovable guy.
Jack Nicklaus used to say the same exact thing about the weather elements. Another famous Buckeye right there in Jack Nicklaus. The other guy who really showed out and we're starting to find more in the Jameis Winston offense is Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy, 85 yards, 6 receptions. He's finding him in space. I feel like, Nick, he was open all this season, and now we're finally finding him out there in space, and he's being a playmaker that we brought him in for.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's nice to see and be able to evaluate what we have here offensively in a guy like Jerry Jeudy, because we weren't going to figure those questions out with Deshaun Watson because Watson just couldn't get him the ball. So now that you have Jameis that's competent back there in the pocket, let Jeudy develop on these routes. And we're starting to see the look of a guy that could eventually become the number 1 wide receiver here in Cleveland. Obviously, you hope to draft, a couple other guys that could complement that room. But Jerry Jeudy certainly starting to look like the guy that Browns fans hoped they were getting when that trade went down this offseason.
All right, how about the Cavs, guys, improving to 17-1, and we're still undefeated at home. And you know what? We got Boston coming home here soon, but I'm not worried. What about you guys?
Cavs victory frog was here last week. Good vibes. Hey, good vibes continue. I know we lost to Boston. We looked very good in that game. We immediately bounced back. I think the vibes on this team are as high as ever, even with the loss to Boston. I really like everything that we're seeing on the floor from Ty Jerome coming off the bench, kind of being the reliever for this team whenever we have kind of a fall off in the second half. He's the guy who's out there saving and bringing the energy back up. Starters playing well. And Nick, what I really like about this offense is it seems like everybody has a role and nobody is asked to to do too much, whether it's Donovan Mitchell, whether it's Mobley, whether it's Garland. Anybody on the floor is asked to do their share and nothing above. We don't have to see one guy go off for this team to be successful. We're seeing everybody shoulder that load.
And, last season into the offseason, I was a little shaky on Max Strus. I thought Max Strus was a guy that was expendable, especially because of the, emergence of Sam Merrill. I don't know anymore. I kind of want to see a little bit of Max Strus in this Kenny Atkinson-led offense because you're right, Chris. It seems like any given night he creates microwave players where players could just get hot in a hurry and hit some big baskets for our Cavs. It's a recipe that's proven to work. We're talking about this Boston game Sunday, and it's going to be a big one. They lost to Boston by just 3 points without Isaac Okoro, without Karis LeVert, without Dean Wade. The Celtics shot 22 of 41 from three, about 50% from deep, and the Cavs still only lost that game by 3. I can't wait for Sunday's rematch against the Celtics because I feel like this should be a truer look at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse on what this new rivalry should look like.
And it's amazing because it'll be the 1st of December, so you're talking about December NBA games, and normally you're not talking about those until the end of December. You're talking about Christmas. But I suspect this is going to be like a playoff atmosphere there at Rocket Mortgage Arena. It's going to be fantastic for the fans that are there. They're going to be loud. They're going to be into it. I don't know that Boston is quite prepared to be playing these type of games this early in the season. I think the Cavs are. We're just riding this momentum right now, and we're just going to continue. I think the fans are going to respond. It's going to be loud.
Chris, and not to mention, you've got Atlanta twice. You've got a home and home with the Hawks.
Yeah.
They're not that good. You could go into that game against the Celtics 19-1 with a chance to go 20-1 with your one loss being undermanned against Boston. I don't know. That would feel really good. Obviously, big week for the Cavs. They got to take care of business in both games against the Hawks, but there's a lot riding on this Boston matchup for December basketball. It is indeed crazy to say that.
I'm super pumped, guys. We have to go to a game together. That would be fun.
That would be
Group
fun.
outing.
We've done it before. Let's do it again.
Also,
roll it back.
Speaking of momentum, guys, we talked about Ty Jerome yet? Over the last 10 games, 15 points per game, 4.4 assists, 2.5 threes. This guy is slashing 60, 57, 93%. He's been crushing it out here. I feel like he's in the 6th man of the year conversation.
Should be. Should be getting a lot more national hype than he has. Nationally, you don't hear them talking anything about the Cavs hardly at all. But when they do talk Cavs, a big piece of it should be Ty Jerome because he surely seems to be the missing piece off that Cavalier bench. And I wonder if the Cavs had him last year in the playoffs, if JB Bickerstaff is still the coach of this team because he looks like he's the guy that was missing all along that could run the offense smoothly but also could put the ball in the basket. He's a big reason why the Cavs are in the position they are right now.
And play a little bit of defense on top of it and really change the momentum of a ball game. That's why I was calling him. He's like the Emmanuel Clase of this team right now. He's a guy who late in the game you can bring in and you can trust him both with the ball in his hands offensively and also at the defensive end. And it's been great to see one of the emergent stars on this team. Hopefully these vibes continue. Once again, we're still in November, but it's a great early indicator. I love what Kenny Atkinson's done and all the guys that he's got playing up.
Love it. Ohio State, guys. I know this is a big one for you, Chris. You got your...
Absolutely. We're in my block O
It's the
today.
week.
It is the week, the Beat Michigan week. It's huge every year. Obviously, everybody in Columbus is bearing down for this huge matchup. They're in Columbus at the Shoe. It's always something memorable, and everybody, just like they do for Thanksgiving, everybody's got their own traditions and what they do and where they go. It's much more than a football game for Ohio. It's much more than a football game for Michigan. It's much more than a football game for this nation. It is huge, and this week is always just fantastic with the fans going at it against each other. Both campuses, all around Ohio State right now, they're blocking off and they're Xing out all the M's around buildings on campus. And everybody's getting excited. You go through the weekly traditions, the Mirror Lake and everything else that you do there on campus. And it's going to be a fantastic time. I don't think it's going to be much of a game. I'm hoping it's not much of a game because I think Ohio State's going to show up. I think Ryan Day knows how much that this means to Ryan Day. And we know what it means for the long-term implications for this team. We have national championship aspirations. You need to get it done against your rival. You need to beat Michigan.
And it needs to be, a statement statement win, a big win for the Buckeyes. Blow out Michigan. This is not a good Michigan Wolverine football team by any stretch. They are the rivals, sure. I think Ohio State got a little bit of their swagger back against the Indiana Hoosiers. I loved running up the score a little bit. I loved Will Howard putting out the cigarette and saying, Google that to the Indiana sideline. It does feel like Ohio State under Ryan Day this year. Maybe it's just one win against Indiana, but it feels like they're starting to hit their stride at the perfect time of the year. Blow out Michigan, and we are talking national championship.
Travion Henderson showing some mercy there. Ryan Day saying, no way, we are going for the jugular against Indiana. Hopefully that carries over now against Michigan, and we also don't show them any mercy.
Thanks again to our friends over at Northeast Factory Direct. That was Cleveland Headlines. We'll be back with more of the Big Play Cleveland Show right after this.
Welcome back to the Big Play Cleveland Show. We're going to kick off our fill in the blank segment, and that is brought to you by Affinity Health. First, we got to check in with Chris, your progress.
Yeah, so this last weekend, for the first time in a long time, I stepped on the SMART scale, and you know how you get those readouts? I learned that not only do you have a green for good, but a dark green means excellent. And I saw a bunch of those numbers show up, and I know that's a direct result of what I've done with Affinity Whole Health. Affinity Whole Health offers personalized treatment plans to help people feel better. They are experts in semaglutide for weight loss therapy and testosterone replacement therapy. Affinity has been around since 2012 and has helped nearly 10,000 patients. Their team can help you get more energy, increase muscle, lose weight, and keep it off with injectable semaglutide. It's quick and easy to get started. Affinity has local offices and 2-day delivery on treatments that get shipped straight to your doorstep. So don't wait any longer. Click the link in our show clips to set up a free consultation, and you can check them out at their website, affinitywholehealth.com.
You're killing it. Now just imagine if you were doing the hot cold therapy with the snow angels in the snow.
Start putting it all together, and man, I'm going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Chris, I'm worried. Don't do that on the ski trip. I'm really worried about you.
I'm going to have to try it. That comes up in February, so we'll see. I'll check back in at that time.
We should probably make a bet of some kind, and if he loses it, he's doing it.
He's got to do it.
Yeah, get it on video with the kids. Kids would love it.
Okay, speaking of the snow, guys, after Thursday's snow game, my opinion on the Browns building a dome is...
Oh, do I let recency bias kick in on this one? I love outdoor football. There's no doubt about it. I always have since being a kid, going out with my friends and playing, especially around Thanksgiving. There's a lot of traditions around families of playing outside, and you hope to get a few of those snowflakes. You hope to kind of play in the elements a little bit, and it's fun to see your team go out there, and it was just some great views watching that game on Prime. But I also like the creature comforts of a dome. I wish we could do something that's retractable. I'd love to take kind of that middle, be on the fence on this one and get a retractable dome, because I do see the advantages of what we could do as far as concerts and having events here in Cleveland if we do have a dome. But I would love to mix in some of those elements and have some sort of retractable option.
Put the roof on that thing.
No.
Build the dome. I want to get Taylor Swift in Cleveland. I want to get a Final Four in Cleveland. People talk about, that was the home field advantage on display. Home field advantage. The football team has 3 wins, and we've seen them play some pretty bad
because
football
of the weather.
Since
we only had 2 going
in that stadium. Build the dome. I don't think one win on Thursday Night Football is going to change multi-billion-dollar plans for what's to come.
Yeah.
They're building that dome, ladies and gentlemen.
I did see articles, seriously, that were written that way, though, that now are they going to scrap everything because of Thursday night?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Years and years of work and preparation.
Consultants, millions of dollars, everything.
Yeah,
Out the window.
Architecture firms out the window because Jameis Winston lumbered in for a touchdown and did a snow angel on Thursday Night Football against the Steelers.
No, but it is a little
happening.
poetic, right? I mean, because we'll look back at those slow-mos with the snow falling and Winston taking it in himself. So
the NFL Films was fantastic.
Awesome.
that was a really cool how they did that. Okay, the AFC North Hard Knocks is going to be...
It's going to be riveting. And it's going to be riveting, a lot of it, because of the Cleveland Browns. For a 3-win team, we are going to draw some eyeballs because it's like, which way is this ship going? One week, it looks like everybody wants to quit and everybody's making business decisions. The next week, we're on national TV and we're beating the Steelers, who are an upstart team, who everybody had, maybe going on in the AFC and really competing hard in the playoffs. So you don't know what to expect from the Browns, and that's exactly what you want in a reality show. So I think the Browns are going to be the real darlings of this thing.
And this whole thing is going to be really cool because, like, the Bengals have been far from perfect with their drama with T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. Baltimore has had a few ugly showings and bad losses, namely against the Steelers as well. So it should be a really fun watch. Debuts December 3rd. Don't need me December 3rd. I'm going to be watching this for sure.
All right, Cavs. The Cavs need to blink against the Celtics on Sunday.
Protect this house. Show them it's our place. We're undefeated at home. We'll continue to be because we're going to beat those damn Celtics. I just really like the vibes of this team. And, boy, it would be nice to just stick it to them. Jason Tatum, some of those cheap shots that we saw out of him, those aren't going to be forgotten. And I want to see the team take it to them on December 1st here.
Yeah, I'm going to say the Cavs need to just do their thing, be themselves, let them know, if you will, against the Celtics on Sunday, because just play Cavalier basketball. That's what they did in the first game against the Celtics, and that's how they came all the way back in that game to just lose by 3 despite being undermanned. I truly do believe that this is an Eastern Conference Finals preview. This is the joy of being here in the East. You're going to play Boston a bunch. So not a big deal. It's just another game. You got plenty more
Just
cracks.
Another game?
You got plenty more cracks at these Celtics, Chris. Of course it means more.
Are
And
the
of course I
Celtics
want to
the
take
same
down
as
Boston.
playing the Hawks twice? The Hawk tour you got there?
Of course. It means a little bit more than the Hawks.
Yeah, no,
but
I took
you're
it
gonna have
personally,
more.
Jason Tatum. I'm ready to throw it down. Or
And
get
I hope
that
the
weak
Cavs
stuff
do.
out of here.
I hope the Cavs do as well. But it really, in reality, it's one game of 82, and you're going to have more cracks against these guys if the Cavs want to get to where they ultimately want to, and that's another NBA Finals.
Yeah.
Let's take a break, and we'll be back with more Big Play Cleveland show right after this. Welcome back to the Big Play Cleveland show as we continue our fill in the blank and hyping up the Cavs ready for Boston on Sunday. My favorite Cavalier right now is...
remains Donovan Mitchell. I mean, he's the leader on this team. But I'll tell you what, it's like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right? He's kind of, the leader of this thing. He's your Leonardo. But then you've got a lot of Michelangelos, a lot of fun guys on this team. George Niang, Garland even, you could tell he's having a lot of fun out there. Tristan Thompson leading that bench. Every single time they flash to the bench, you see Tristan Thompson as the main hype guy over there. So it's just a fun team. It's well constructed. Donovan's been great in his role as we expected, but now you've got a lot of other guys stepping up.
Yeah, that's a good point, Chris. And it's hard to go against Donovan Mitchell because he's the all-star. He's the engine that's going to keep this thing going. But I just can't stop reveling at the leap that Evan Mobley is making. And we're watching him make the leap in real time, which is even more special. So many people, both locally and nationally, laughed at the Cavs when they handed him that big extension this offseason. A lot of smarter people that listen to this show and in the NBA world said, hey, that's what you got to do. He's a young superstar that's showed promise. You've got to give him a payday. That's how the new NBA works. But it's nice to see now in that first year of the new contract, Mobley's living up to the hype. He's living up to the expectation. He's becoming the player that the Cavs need him to be, because for the Cavs to get to the finals, a lot of it hangs on, can Evan Mobley be the guy with Donovan Mitchell? And so far in the first 20 games of the year, he's showing that he can be.
I'm with you, Nick. It's good to see him playing with a lot more confidence and assertiveness and being the guy that we need him to be. I think I'm really still excited about Ty Jerome, how he's coming out of the woodwork. A lot of people didn't really know about him last year. He plays hard. He plays smart. He was really making the defense the other night, or was it last night? I'm getting my days mixed up. But he was just weaving through traffic, laying up in the middle. I love that. Okay, guys, we're going to switch gears here just a little bit as we continue fill in the blank. My score prediction for Ohio State, Michigan is...
My prediction is pain For those guys from Ann Arbor, 42-17, Ohio State is going to roll. We're going to take some of that momentum. Everybody was saying, hey, watch for Indiana, watch for Indiana. Watch Indiana just get smashed. Now we're going to go on. We're going to take down Michigan here in the big house, or excuse me, here at the Horseshoe.
Here at our big
Here
house.
at our place.
Hell yeah.
I'm
Chris,
so
you
excited
said it.
about this that I've even got mixed up where we're playing it here in Columbus. So, yeah, I think Ohio State's going to roll over Michigan.
Yeah, it is going to be our big house down there Sunday. I'm heading down to Ohio State for this. I'm going to be doing a little trivia tailgate with our friends over at Swenson. So if you're going to be down in Columbus tailgating, be on the lookout for yours truly. I'm going to have a big box full of burgers, giving them away to people that know their Buckeye trivia. Looking forward to that one. But my final score prediction for this game, guys, I'm going to go big as well. I'm going 40-10. Ryan Day hangs the 40 burger up on Michigan, and I think this Ohio State defense is that good. Michigan's 6-5. Like, come on, this should be a easy Buckeye victory.
My favorite memory from the game is
2018, I went with my grandfather, with my Uncle Greg, and my dad, and that was Urban's last Ohio State-Michigan game where he went 8-0. The first half, for those of you who don't remember, was fairly close. We had a special teams error at the end, so it was within, as I recall, like one score. Second half, we really blew them out because at the end of that thing, it wasn't even close. But just the atmosphere, and if you haven't gone to one of these games, you have to. I mean, starting off the day, going tailgating, then a skull session, you get really pumped up there, and then you walk over to the stadium, you take it all in, you have game day there, you've got all the pomp and circumstance. It's just something else, and to be there with my grandfather, my uncle, my dad was just a lot of fun, so I'll never forget that game.
I'll go with one that when I think of the game, for some reason, I always go back to this one, and it's because it was so close. These teams were so matched, and I go back to 2016 when Curtis Samuel cuts it around for the game-winning touchdown that really just put a nail in Michigan's coffin, and so many Michigan fans were sick because I believe that was the game where JT Barrett had the controversial third down conversion, and they're still saying that he didn't get the first down. We're still saying that he did. Curtis Samuel's game winner against Michigan is what makes me think of the game the most because it was so heart attack inducing, and I just remember feeling like the weight of the world was lifted off my shoulders when Curtis Samuel scored that touchdown. So I don't know that that's my favorite, but that's for sure an underrated one. When I think of the game, that's always the first one that comes to mind.
The other one that's stuck in my head always is that catch by Gonzalez back in 2005, and I can still hear Brent Musburger, caught by Gonzalez. That was just an unbelievable play. We needed it coming down the stretch in order to turn that thing around and eventually win that game for the Buckeyes, and that was a huge play by Anthony Gonzalez.
all right, gang. How about Thanksgiving? Let's wrap this up on a high note. We know Nick's take on Thanksgiving food, that's for sure, or just the holiday in general.
In general, but that's fine.
Yeah. Okay, well, what about
It's easily top 5, right? Thanksgiving.
No.
Come on.
It's a good time.
No.
Eat, sleep, repeat. That is the holiday. What is
Football,
not
you're
to
a
like
sports
about that
guy.
holiday?
Yeah.
Nick?
Nick.
NBA on Christmas clears. Not to mention now you got NFL on Christmas too. I'm just saying 4th of July baseball. I mean, people look at Thanksgiving like it's a great holiday. This year I'm gonna nestle in my seat and watch Tommy DeVito's Giants against Cooper Rush's Cowboys. I can't wait. Thanksgiving's the best.
You have it on in the background. Come on. You're eating your turkey, you're eating your stuffing, you're taking your naps. That's on in the background. And it's good not to have a game that you have to be completely dialed into. You just turn your brain off, you enjoy the tryptophan, and you take a nap.
What's your favorite pie, real quick?
Oh, give me pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin, yeah, hard to go wrong with pumpkin. I'll go apple though. It's just traditional.
Apple? No, not for Thanksgiving. Give me a pumpkin or a pecan. You either got to go.
I mean,
with
yeah,
for
that's pretty classic.
For Thanksgiving. I thought we meant favorite ever. Apple.
Oh, there you
Favorite
go.
ever, Marie Callender French silk.
Nice. Wow.
Oh, yeah. It's a banger. All right, we got to take a break. Thanks for watching the Big Play Cleveland Show. We'll be back right after this.
Welcome back to the Big Play Cleveland Show. Would You Rather is brought to you by Fairway Ford. Fairway Ford is the largest Ford truck dealership in Ohio. They have the largest selection of Ford F-150s and Super Duty trucks, and they won't be beat on price by any other Ford dealers. So don't let a short drive to Canfield prevent you from saving thousands on your new truck. Fairway Ford, the largest inventory of new Ford trucks, the lowest pricing, and the same hometown level of service. Visit fairwayfordohio.com. That's fairwayfordohio.com.
I got the hoodie on today.
Nice.
Oh,
Super
cool.
clean. Canfield, Ohio, represent.
Nice.
Not
That's
that long
actually
of a
really
drive.
cool.
Short drive
If
right
you're going to
there.
save thousands of dollars on a new truck, yeah, go down to Canfield. Fairwayfordohio.com.
That is a sick hoodie. I love it in the shape of the one.
I know. Hey, they're number one.
He was number one. Would you guys rather Ohio State beat Michigan but lose in the playoffs, or lose to Michigan but win the national title this year?
Oh,
I hate this question.
I know. And it's the
absolutely hate
same
this
every
question.
year. I'd
I
rather
know.
win the national championship.
Yeah,
of
you got to
course.
take the national championship. Assume
But we were
most
just
of the
talking
time
about
you've got to do
recency.
both, right?
Yeah.
But now
Yeah.
that they've expanded the playoffs to so many teams, you don't have to do both. So this is a legitimate question. But at the end of the day, give me the natty. I know losing to Michigan would hurt, but give me the natty all day long.
Dollar Dog Nick asks us this question every year.
Every
Like,
year.
I think he has it in his Google Calendar the last week of November. He sets himself a reminder. Ask Nick and Chris, would they rather the Buckeyes win the national championship, beat Michigan, or vice versa? I agree. Beating Michigan is your ski ramp, if you will, into a national championship. You feel really good about beating your rivals. That should spearhead you right into the Big Ten championship game. I mean, hell, we could be looking at Ohio State, Oregon 3 different times this year. First time in the fall that's already passed, Big Ten championship, and then national championship. So, yeah, I got my eyes set on national championship with these Buckeyes.
All right. Would you rather the Browns play on Thursday night or Monday night?
I'm loving the Thursday nights. I'll tell you
Got
what,
some
we
good juju
continue
there
to
so
play
far.
well. Yeah, we play well. I know last year Flacco kind of coming out. That was a big time against the Jets. This year we got the Snow Globe game. I've got a lot of memorable events on Thursday night. Monday night, not so much. It seems like the lights are too bright for us every year. So give me Thursday night, Nick. I love that slot.
Thursday night has been awesome to the Browns, but I will say there's just something about being on Monday Night Football that feels a little bit bigger. You're on ESPN. The intro feels bigger. Everything about it just feels bigger on Monday Night Football. So
Al Michaels isn't falling asleep on during the telecast.
I mean, the Browns usually give Al Michaels a reason to stay awake. I feel
Yeah,
like
that's
I
true.
tolerate Al Michaels a lot more when it's a Browns game versus when it's just a random Thursday night game. It feels like he brings it a little bit more for our Browns. So I'll go with Chris. I'll say Thursday night just because that's where we've had the success.
One of our most difficult questions yet. Would you rather have to try to block Myles Garrett or tackle Nick Chubb?
Neither. I mean, if I'm up against either of those guys,
You've got to
just
be
fit me-
suicidal to do this.
Fit me for a coffin. I'm done. I don't care how healthy I am right now. I'm dead trying either of those things.
I try to tackle Nick Chubb because I think that's the one that you get over with quicker. Where Miles could just really, like, if he wanted to, kind of have his way with you. You know,
play
trying
with
to
you like a
block him.
lion playing with its food or something.
Yeah,
The
where
Miles one-
Chubb, you try to tackle him, you're off him, and he's off.
Yeah. The Miles one feels more like I'm the nail, like hammer nail, versus like
Yeah.
Chubb. I feel like I can kind of, but not that I would have any chance at all. Okay, thanks for that, Dollar Dog. Would you rather the Cavs win the NBA Cup or beat the Celtics on Sunday? It's another one of those.
Yeah, let's do both. Once again,
both.
I would love to do both. I guess the cup, because there's more, more levels to that. You got to beat more teams rather than just beating the Celtics. But to me, I mean, last year the Lakers won the cup. What did it really mean?
Yeah.
Do you hang a banner for that? I don't know. Either way, we're just looking for indications over whether the Cavs are a good team right now. We think they are. Either of those things are going to give us those indications. You play well against the Celtics, that's a good measuring stick. You win the NBA Cup, you've won a lot of games there. So either way, I'm good. But I guess the NBA Cup, if you're going to put the gun against my head.
Yeah, same. NBA Cup for sure. But Chris, you keep downplaying the Lakers last year winning the NBA Cup, and I'm going to keep reminding people.
Hang the banner.
It was against the Pacers, and the Pacers got to go all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals because playing in the Cup and playing those high-pressure games together as a unit, I think did great things for Indiana as a young team. I see that for these Cleveland Cavaliers as well. win the NBA Cup? Are we going to put the banner up? Whatever. But I think it means valuable things to a young team to play games together that are high pressure, that mean a lot. You got a lot on the stake.
Yeah.
These guys all want that extra money. They all want that trip to Vegas. And I think playing those games collectively as a group does good things for you when the actual NBA playoffs come around in this summer.
I just hate Boston so much. That was tougher for me than you guys. Okay, we've got to take another break. Thanks for watching the Big Play Cleveland Show. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to the Big Play Cleveland Show. As we wrap up our show here, we already know what Thanksgiving plans are going down. McNeil versus Nick. Well, what is your routine though? If you say
routine,
you hate it, but you've got a routine.
I'm looking forward to seeing the family and doing that whole thing.
Complaining the whole time.
we're going out to my
Down.
aunt's house. It'll be cool. I do seriously wish there was a little bit better slate of football games on. Like that.
Yeah.
That Dallas Cowboy game is going to be a rough watch against the Giants, who are really bad. There was a piece of me. I was holding out hope. It's not going to happen. There was a world. The New York Giants, big sports news, released quarterback Daniel Jones. The Dallas Cowboys don't have a quarterback. They're playing Cooper Rush. Lost season in Dallas. There was a world where the Cowboys could have signed Daniel Jones, and we would have had Daniel Jones and the Cowboys versus his former team in the Giants
That would have been
on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
That would have been something to look forward to. I don't think that's going to happen.
Now, are you a run on Thanksgiving woman? Or
McNeil,
Turkey
you know,
trot?
McNeil,
do
you
the
know the answer to this.
You are, right? You got to be doing
duh.
a 5K.
It doesn't matter what shape I'm in, whether I went out late on Wednesday night.
You're gonna do the run.
You get up early, run the turkey trot. This year I'm going to be wearing a donut costume. Like, you got to do it.
Of course you are.
We're insane over here, obviously.
I love it. We need photos of the donut costume for sure.
And I run the one every year down there in Granville, Ohio.
There
So
you
look for me
go.
at the turkey trot. Let's go.
This is key. Do you do the 5 mile or the 5K?
5K. 5 mile is the firecracker 5 that we do for the 4th of July. That's
Oh.
the 5 miler.
So y'all don't even do the 5 miles as an option for your trot?
No.
That's
no, we
weak.
don't.
Okay,
No.
well, I'll see you guys in Cleveland for the 5 miles.
I like
We're soft in
I like Granville rules a little bit
A lot
better.
of people walk it too. Yeah.
Fair
Thank you
enough.
guys for tuning in to the Big Play Cleveland Show. Huge thanks to Jameis Winston for popping in with us as well. Make sure you guys download that free Big Play app. You could stream our show and the rest of the shows for free on demand anytime. Download the Big Play app, iOS, Roku. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next week.